Hello, Ignacy Czech, Portal Games, and this is game designer gameplay. That means that I'm going to play the game and show you how the game works, but because I'm a game designer of this game, I'm going to chat with you and tell you about some of the design choices and why I decided to go in this direction or in this direction in this particular design. So I hope you first of all learn a little bit how to play this game, and then learn some background information about the rules in the game. So Imperial Settlers Roll and Write is a game that is of course roll and write, but it is in a genre of engine building games. It was inspired by Imperial Settlers, my previous game, engine building card game, and when I was working on this particular title, I tried to keep the feeling of creating your empire, creating some combos, creating some engine, and then scoring points like in most of the engine building card games. So in this game, on one hand we have the empire sheet. This is a place where you are going to get victory points to win the game. But we also have a village sheet that represents the buildings, the structures that you are going to build to grow your settlement and to get additional abilities. So on one hand, during the game, you are going to spend resources to expand your village, to gain new people and new resources and new abilities, but also because the game is very short, it has only 10 rounds, you want to spend these resources to actually get victory points. The first versions of Prototype, when we were playtesting, had 12 rounds, so it was 12 round game, but I felt like it has to be short, it has to be tough decision for the players who want to switch and stop building villages and start scoring. So in the end, you have the game that has only 10 rounds, very short in gameplay. So let's start. I'll be playing, I will be chatting, we will see what will happen during the game. So we start with rolling dice. We have a resource dice that will generate resources for a particular round. And these resources are exactly like in a base game of Imperial Settlers. So we have a wood, we have apples, we have a gold, and we have a stone. And we have a new thing that is a worker die. Let's roll it, and these workers represents how many people you have in this particular round to work for you. And for me it was from the very beginning, like it was one of the first notes I made for the game. Workers will represent how many times you can use the pencil, how many times you can cross off things. So for me from the very beginning, each worker had like a one pencil in hand and was able to do stuff. So in this particular first round I have 3 workers, so I can use this pencil 3 times, and I have 2 apples and 1 stone. These are my resources for the round. After the roll is made, and the players have a choice to choose 1 favor token. So favor tokens in the design part of the game were a rule that was supposed to mitigate luck. So if you have bad luck, if you rolled not enough workers, if you have not enough resources, you can use favor tokens to get the stuff you really need for this round. We have in the game 5 different tokens before each of the games. You shuffle and pick the number of tokens equal to number of players plus 1. Let's assume that I'm playing with somebody, so it is a 2-player game. So let's assume there's 2 of us, so therefore I have 3 tokens to choose from. So this in this game we have 1 token that offers me 1 gold. We have 1 token that offers me 1 meeple, and let me change the token to a little bit more interesting, and this one, a yield. It allows me to grab more resources from my fields. And now it's the beginning of the round. I roll the dice, and now I have to choose one of the token. Because my roll was not very awesome, only 3 workers, so let me choose ally token, and gives me additional workers, so these 2 won't be used this round. So overall I have 4 workers, 2 apples and a stone, and what I can do with them, I can start scoring, go here and score points and move on as far as possible on my empire sheet. But also, it is the very beginning of the game, I'd like to build some structures, to build some buildings that will provide me abilities till end of the game. With stone I can start building settlers, I can start building tool shop, and And I guess I will go for the tool shop because it's a very good building. So I'm spending 1 stone, and I'm spending this additional ally worker to start building tool shop. So this is my pencil used once. I have 2 apples. Nothing here in this village uses apples, so I can just go flat to start scoring points. But we will start slow with that. So I will spend 1 of these workers on an apple. That is true, and this apple is spent. And I have 2 workers left, and I will use these 2 workers to continue to build the tool shop. As you can see, I don't know if you are actually seeing that, but in some of these boxes you have resource. That means that you have to spend resource, and some of them are empty. That means that I just need to use my pencil. So I'm using my worker, my pencil, and I'm just crossing it out. And I have 1 more left, and we'll start building bridges. And let me tell you about the bridges. And I just spent these 3 workers. So bridges. So once again, bridges allow me to get to the new part of the game, the fields. And the fields as well were from the very beginning of the prototype. And it was the way to grab new resources by players. So on one hand, they are dependent on this dice roll. And each round they are able to get 3 resources for free, but they are random because they are rolling dice. But there was from the very beginning additional board, additional field that you can go and explore this field. And it was at the beginning it was thematic, just thematic. We are settlers, we just reach these new lands and we want to explore them and find new areas and new resources. So this was the beginning. And of course, when the rules were more and more solid and working, it changed to actual fields, the places when you can get additional resources. And in the game, at this point, in this final version, we have 4 different fields, closer one and farther away and farther away. There were different versions during the prototype. So I'm starting to build a bridge so I can reach to the first part of these new lands and new resources. So this is my plan, to get more resources next round. So this is it. This is the first round is done. I can mark it that first round is done. I forgot to name my my village. Let me call it with my all consonants: T R Z E W I K. Trzewik village. This is so next round. At the beginning of the next round, we take all these. No, not this. Sorry, my bad. All these favor tokens, they are set again, and once again we are rolling dice. At this point my opponent would roll the die, but we have to imagine that he is there and he just rolled the dice. Oh, he rolled much better. We have 4 workers, we have once again stone, we have apple and apple again. There is no wood in the country, so these bridges might start being very important. I guess I'm going to take a lucky coin that represents the gold, and the gold is any resource. So therefore, I'll be able to get this wood because I really need this wood. And my second round, what I can do for sure, I'm using one of my workers and this stone to cross off this part of the tool shop, and tool shop is ready. I just finished the last space of this building. It is built. It may be used by me next round. On different ways, on different phases of the prototyping. Some buildings were working immediately, some later. It was a mess. So now we have a flat rule. When you build a building, you will be able to use it since next round. So tool shop next round, I'm going to use it. That's good news for me. I'm spending 1 of the workers also on a second space, and therefore I filled it all 2 spaces for the bridge. So this bridge is built. So I have access to this field. So now I can visit this part of the empire. My settlers reach the new lands, and now they can go to the forest and bring me wood. I will need wood. They have also apples, but I have apples, and there is a mine there at the end of this field, and I can bring more stone. So I spent at this point 2 workers, and I have 2 workers left, and I have a gold, and I have 2 apples. So I'm using gold, my friends. I'm using gold. I guess. Yes. Let's start a little bit of scoring. Yes, I'm spending gold as a stone here, and I have 1 worker left. So let's go for another apple here. This is it. 4 workers spent. The round is over. Very simple. a very easy round for me. Second round is over and we are in a cleaning phase. Once again, I'm getting these tokens in front of me. Now I'm the first player and I'm going to roll the dice. And remember, now I can use my tool shop because this is a new round. So what we have here, oh, and this is how Ignacy rolls: 2 gold, 1 wood and 4 meeples. So lots of amazing choices. And let's hack the system. And you know it. Yes, that's it. We are going to go for the yield. This is my way to show you this resource. So this is this favor token that allows me to bring more resources from field. So this is a precisely token that is designed to make this part of the board more interesting for players, more challenging. So this yield token allows me to choose one of the results on my die. So I'm choosing wood, and that means that my workers, my settlers, went to the forest and they can bring as much wood as I want without spending an action. Like wood is for free in this round for me. So because I built my bridges, so this is awesome because I have access to this 2 wood and these 2 forests. So of course I'm using that, and look at this, 1, 2, and no workers spent because I used this yield token. So I have 2 wood right now, and now I'm spending this 2 wood immediately. And what for? There's so many choices. I guess I'm going to collector. So 1 wood here, 2nd wood here. So there was two workers. These 2 gold I'm spending here. This is my 3rd worker, and I have 4th worker yet to be spent, and I'm spending it right here. I don't need this wood. Bam, and this building is also built, and this building is also built. Actually, I wasted this 1 wood, but this is in front of camera, lots of pressure. Everybody's watching how I'm playing, so I might make some mistakes in terms of the strategy. And once again, this is it. This is very simple, easy game. Round number 3 is done, and after these 3 rounds, what we have here, and I'm a joke because I had this, and rewinding because I forgot that I had this thing, so I'm not having this. No, Ignacy made mistake. Everybody can make fun of me because I had +1 resource when I'm harvesting, and I was harvesting twice this round, so I got additional 2 wood, so I'm doing that. I'm sorry for this mistake, but too much speaking, too much talking to camera, and not enough focus. That was 3rd round. We start a new round. Once again, all favor tokens are in front of me. Now my virtual opponent is rolling the dice, and here we have his choices. And dun, and I'm going for a worker this time because I need to cross a lot of spaces. So first of all, I'm spending this worker to fix this mistake from the last time. So now it is legit. Now it is good. I did it, so it is okay. And now I have 4 workers, and I have 1 apple, 1 wood, and 1 stone, so I can do everything. And now what I want to do. So I already built some abilities. This ability says if all resource die show a different result that just happened, you gain 1 gold. So I'm having 4 guys, I have 4 amazing resources, my building is working, I have this feeling that my engine is doing well, I have this additional building that gives me more resources when I'm harvesting. So I guess the good choice for me is to build more bridges because I'm going to go for the harvest action because I have this building. So let's do this. First of all, I'm spending 1 of this gold that I got here. It was my 1st worker. Then I'm spending 1 worker, my 2nd worker here, because I want to show you something in a moment. And I have 2 workers left. And I can do something like that. Take this stone. I have only 1 worker left, but because I harvested from my space, from my field, I have +1 worker, or +1 resource because of the tool shop. So actually I have 2 stones, and with these 2 stones, with my last dude, my last worker, I'm harvesting this space because now I'm spending 2 stones. So this is it. Once again, pretty good round. I'm going much further here, and now I want to talk about the advanced variant, because I'm playing advanced variant. So the base game of the roll and write was ready around, I guess it was December last year. Yes, it was December. I remember that many employees from Portal Games took a prototype to play at home with their families. And after Christmas, at the beginning of January, we had internal discussion in the company, and the feedback was the game is fun, the game is easy, the game is easy to play and fun, but there's missing this gamer element. Like, it is very good for the family type of play, and when my employees were playing with their families, the families had a great time, but my employees were complaining that this is not a gamer's game, like we need a little bit of meat. So I gave this prototype to Asia, my developer, and said, Asia, do whatever you want, just give me some meat to this thing. And she came up with this idea of settlements. So this is all credits go to her. This is her amazing idea. So she came up with the idea that each of the buildings that we have here has additional Tetris shape dedicated to this particular building. And let me look at the collector. He has this very simple stride shape, and we can take this shape and we can mark it here on our empire sheet, and if we do it, this particular building will start working much better. So if you look at my empire sheet right now, I can draw either this shape here, as you can see very easily, and I can even do this thing, tool shop, and it is like this shape. And I'm actually going for the tool shop. So my tool shop is now working like I'm doing it is called settlement rule. So I'm taking this shape, I'm drawing it here, and now, so it was my choice not using collector, using tool shop. I'm crossing this shape, and what just happened? Let me tell you. That means that this particular building works better every single round, and here it was saying each time you harvest gain +1 resource of that kind, and now because I created this shape, it will say each time you harvest gain +2 resources of that kind, and it makes my strategy for the fields much better. Now each time I'm getting something, I get +2 resources of that kind. So I'm going definitely after additional fields. And this finishes my round number 4. And after this round, let me show you once again. I have 2 buildings. I didn't build another, but I have these 2 buildings. One of these buildings is now awesome because I upgraded it with this Tetris shape. So I think I'm set for now a lot of points in upcoming rounds. Once again, we have our favor tokens. Once again, we have rolls. Now is the 5th round, so I'm the first player. It will be amazing roll, that's for sure. It is 4 workers, 1 wood, 1 gold, and 1 stone. And definitely we need in this round more fields. Let's try and do some combos. So, like, because I'm on camera, because I'm talking to you guys, so I made mistake, right? I make my mistake right now, so please don't make fun of me, but let's try to do it. So I'm not interested in coin, I'm not interested in workers, I'm just going to yield things and let us try it. So I'm having 4 workers. The first worker builds first part of the bridge, and the second worker spent this wood to build another bridge, part of the bridge, and now this bridge is ready and I have access to this field. And now I'm putting a stone on this favor token. That means that I can now harvest stone for free, and not that I'm harvesting stone for free because my awesome building is in +2 things. So now I'm going to get this stone for free, so I'm still having 2 workers left, and now I have 1, 2, 3, and even 4, and with that even 5 stones. And this is Ignacio doing a combo with my awesome things. And oh, by the way, and I have another gold because of this building. So this gold is here. So I have a third worker and fourth worker, and we are going very strong with the stone strategy, next round's wood strategy, and apparently I have here a nice combo doing. Now, I'm not going for apples, which is a pity, because it would be impossible for me to draw another shapes, and it might be not very good, but we will see. And round number 5 is ready. Bam, 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 bam. We go back, we go back, we go back. I think because this is, this is a gameplay that you need to learn how to play the game, but also hear about some different stories. So let us cheat a little bit right now. And I'm taking these 2 favor tokens, removing them. This is not allowed in the rules. And let us take different favor tokens so I can talk about them. So now we have different set, and now we start with the roll. It is my opponent roll. Round number 6. We have 2 apples. We have 1 stone. I have 4 workers again, and now, and we have no wood this time. This is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. I think this round will be not super awesome. This collector is not working because there's no different things. I was not planning to harvest, but I think I will have to. So yes, so I'm going to take this export tile to tell you. So export tile is the tile that says trade up to 3 different resources, each for 1 victory point. And that was my idea to once again challenge players, to give them choices, because this is what we love in the games, having choices. So now you can spend the resources on building your structures and buildings. You can spend the resources on your empire sheet to get victory points, but now you have additional choice. You can now just export, get rid of resources just for the flat victory points right now, in cash victory points. And this is me being super tempting for the players, because 3 points, I'd love to do that, but they are losing resources. But we will go for it. And my plan for the round is like that. I'm going to spend 1 worker to cross off these, and that means that I have immediately 3 wood tokens. Now I'm spending my second worker here, so I have only 1 wood left, and now this 1 wood and this 1 apple I'm spending on export, and I'm getting 2 points for that. I'm marking it here, 2 points. And so this is gone, and at this point I spend only 1 worker, so I have still 3 workers at my disposal. And 1 worker is going to build bridge, and 1 worker is going to go for the bridge again, and this stone is done, and this bridge is built, and I'm access to having this because there is lots of resources over here, and I have a last dude. So this last dude of course goes here for this stupid apple. That's it for the round. So round number 6 is done. We are, the middle of the game is behind us. Not many things happened here, and that worries me, but these 2 buildings, and I went all for the bridges. This game I'm doing very well with the stones, because I already have 8 points on the stones, and I'm going to have much more soon. Apples are terrible for me right now, so we will see what will happen. Round number 7, Ignace is the first player. He rolls terribly. 2 apples, 1 stone, still no wood. What's going on with these dice? Like 2 woods here, 2 woods here, 2 woods here, and no woods rolled. And because it's a game designer gameplay, so I'm choosing now once again different token to show you, and this is the boon. Boon token says choose a result on a resource die, gain +1 of that resource, and this is my way of helping players get to these higher scoring fields. As you can see here, you need 3 stones, you need 4 stones, you need 3 wood, you need 4 wood. Like, the prices for these scoring points are higher and higher, and with this favor token you can get easily these resources. What Ignace is going to do is that I'm spending my first worker to harvest this gold, and therefore I have 3 gold and 3 workers. Now out of these 3 golds, here I have 1 stone and additional stone. I have 2 stones. I'm adding 1 of these golds, and bam, this is my second worker, and I have 2 gold left and 2 workers. 2 gold and 2 workers, 2 gold and 2 workers, 2 gold and 2 workers. 1 gold goes here, and 1 worker, what should I score here? And 1 worker goes for this stupid apple, because I'd love to try to create a shape if I manage. And this is it. This is a 7 round. I spent all these things and the pencil worked very hard. We are done, and you saw all the favor tokens already. You saw how the shapes are built and why they are built. And we are starting the round number 8. Round number 8. Now let me grab the dice. My opponent is rolling, and he rolled. Wow, that's interesting roll. That will be very strange and very interesting roll. So we have 3 wood pieces and we have 5 workers. So lots of stuff to do. The problem with this roll is, and it was on purpose when I was designing the game, like both of these tiles says choose a result on a resource die. So it was not like, okay, whatever apples, whatever stone, like you have to have this rolled. So with this roll, I have only wood that I can use here. So these favor tokens are now working not super awesome, not super interesting. But yet I might consider using them. Like I might. Yeah, let's go for it. So yeah, my bone will work with the wood. So now I have not 3 wood, but I have 4 wood at this point, and I have spending my 1 of my workers. So now I have not 3 wood, but 4 and 5 and 6. I have 6 wood pieces, and with that amount of stuff I can cross with my 4. I have 3 left. 3 left dudes, and I have 1 wood left. That's not enough, but I have 1 wood left, so I can cross out this and this, and this is it. That was a very good round for the wood row. We are here, we use the power, we use all the wood we had. We are using this building like crazy, and still I am very lame with this shape, because on this board all these shapes are like, I could do this, but I didn't build this building. Okay, 8th round is over. We are almost done with the game, so we almost can see how we are doing with the score. I'm very good here on the stone. I'm pretty awesome with this wood score here. Pathetic with apples, so-so with the bridges, and I didn't start doing fortress, which gives me a victory point, and I didn't draw any architects, which is a pain. I saw in the internet the many of you playing the game, and I saw that you are using these architects like crazy, drawing them over and over and getting ridiculous scores. That's interesting. Round number 9. Ignacy is rolling. 2 stones and apple, and that's pretty good roll. I'm not going to trade resources because actually I could trade resources. Let's do this. So I'm going to spend resources. So I'm spending these 2 resources, apple and stone, for 2 victory points. That's good for me. And I'm left with 4 workers and 1 stone. But I have a stone over here, so I'm crossing this stuff, and I have 3, 4, and 5 and 6. I have 6 stones, and I have 3 dudes left and 6 stones, and with 6 stones I can do 3. I'm cheating, I'm taking it back. I didn't sell it. I'm cheating, but now I can do this. There was some cheating, there was some mistake. This full-blown amazing gameplay with me making mistakes, me cheating, but I'm doing everything to get higher score, and that's what happened. So now, as you can see, I'm not building these buildings anymore. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I created these two things, I created a combo here, and I'm trying to get as many points as possible from this particular set of buildings, but I think my score will be terrible compared to your scores in the internet, because I didn't build these buildings, and this will be difficult for me. This was a 9th round, and we are in the last round of the game. Last thing will happen. My opponent is rolling dice, and he is very good for me because we have wood, not enough workers, and the collector is not working, and I already that's bad. That's bad. Okay, so with all this wood, to get 16 points I need 3 wood. I have only 2 rolled, and the DL will not help me because I spent all the wood stuff. I'm not going to trade, or maybe I will. No, I'm not going. I'm taking a boon. I'm updating a boon with this wood piece. So now I have 3 wood pieces, and with 3 wood pieces I can cross out this space, and I spent all of that, and I have 3 workers left, and this apple. Now 3 workers left. 3 workers left. I think 1 worker, 2nd worker, 3rd worker, and therefore I can build this in this very last round. I can draw this architect's building. That was the last moment to do this, but I managed to pull it off. That was my settlement for this guy. And we are going to scoring. So scoring from the very beginning of the game, it was, for the most of the playtesting was the same. Like the idea of the 3 resources was from the very beginning. Like, we will make stone expensive resource, like in Imperial Settlers, and this track will give lots of points, but it will be hard to achieve the maximum because it's growing. Like, first you need to spend 1 stone, then 2 stones, then once again 2, then 3, 4, and it's very expensive raw, but it gives a lot of victory points. With the wood, which is a common building material in the base game of Imperial Settlers, I wanted to give different options for the players. So each space in the wood row is always 2 wood, 2 wood, 2 wood, 2 wood, 2 wood. So if you create on different boards, on different buildings, a good strategy to get flat 2 wood pieces every round, and you can pull it off on different abilities, you will be safe and steady on this track, and you will be able to cross out these 2 wood pieces every single round. So it was different approach for the wood pieces. And with the apples, once again, different approach. Apples are very common. There is a ton of buildings that gives you apples. You always have too much apples, basically. So this is a very cheap resource. But what we did here is that it costs a lot of crossing out, lots of hard work. If you are going to this field and you have to work and harvest stuff. So with the apples, resource is very cheap. But you have to make here 1, 2, 3 crosses, 1, 2 crosses, 1, 2 crosses. So once again, different approach. So for scoring on the apples, you need to develop strategy of having a ton of free workers by different abilities. For example, this settlers building give us additional worker. So if we build these settlers, if we create a combo, so these settlers not gives us 1 meeple, but 2 meeples, but 3 meeples, and we have a ton of these meeples, then we can go for the strategy from the apples. So each of these rows is constructed a little bit different, with a different idea in mind. From the very expensive stone, ton of points, but the stone is very hard to get. From the solid, steady wood strategy to the apples, very cheap, but lots of work, lots of crosses to do it. And then at the very beginning of the prototype, building bridges didn't give you a victory points. But what I saw, players were not happy with building these bridges, and the whole section, whole part of the fields were not used enough for the players. When we changed it and when I added a small points, like 1, 2, 3, very small amount of points, but suddenly players, okay, if I get the points for building a bridge, so I will get a point, I will get access to the fields, and strategy for the fields became so much more popular among the playtesters. So that's why the 4 different rows of victory points. So yes, so let's see how I scored. So internet can make a laugh of me that they can have a better scores than I do. 19 points from the stones. That's a very good result in my opinion. 16 points. That was very lucky roll one time, but it helped this dice game in the first place. So 16 points here. With apples, pathetic, only 4 points, and with the bridges 6. This is like average, like these 3 bridges. This is the stuff that you want to build in general. I created one settlement of the architects. It gives me 8 points. If I build more of them, I will get more points, but it's 8 points. And this is 2 and 1 point from the export tile. Remember, I was spending resources on export, and this is all I get from this game. Let me calculate that. It's a 20, 40, 50, 56 points. So this is not a good, so not a bad score. 56 is like average score. I saw people in the internet having like even 70 points. I saw people having like 40 points. 56 is like a legit score. It was not that bad at all. Ignacy, good job. And that was game designer gameplay. We hope you enjoyed that and you saw the game in action, but at the same point learned a little bit more about my decisions when I was designing the game. One more thing that I want to mention that is important for me, because it was a ton of work of me and Asha. I don't know if I have it here. Yes, I do. Not all the things. This concept of adventure board. So we have a block of 48 different buildings. Every building is different. Every time is something new. There is so many new amazing abilities. And I'm playing this myself with my wife, and we are going sheet after sheet after sheet after sheet, discovering all these new abilities. Amazing time with the game, because well, each time I play is something different, and I'm very proud of that. And this is something unique, and I wanted to mention because it was a ton of work, but now we are really proud with Asha what we achieved. That was Game Designer Gameplay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you like that content. We release here a lot of videos. We do a new segment every Monday. We do vlog every Tuesday. We do this Game Designer Gameplay sometimes. So lots of content here on this YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Please click the bell icon so you get notifications, and give us in the comments your opinion about Roll and Ride, about this video, and what you want to see next, what you want me to play next. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.